Hello, welcome to a very special episode of Before You Jump. Now, a few episodes ago, I was sitting with Cows and I told him that we're going to do this, and now this is it. So I am recording here with
Sophia. Yeah.
That's right. So me and my daughter are going to record this today for her school assignment. But since it's been recorded, being a podcast hog and a spotlight hog, I'm going to release this on my channel, and she's going to hand it in for her assignment, which is quite exciting. For me. Not exciting for her, though.
I don't want to be on Spotify, guys.
Well, you will be. You are now on Spotify. If you listen to this, she is on Spotify. So this is very exciting.
Do you know that I actually listened to like half an episode that you posted, like the
Did
first
you?
one?
A lot of bad language, right?
No, I think I listened to like the first 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is very exciting. So what we're doing today is Sophie, for her school project, has read a book that my wife suggested to her that she read, and we're going to talk about the book. So what is it called?
Hope.
It's called Hope. Just called Hope.
Yeah.
And who's it by?
Amanda Berry and Gina De Jesus.
De Jesus.
I can't
And tell us, what sort of genre book is it?
I looked it up because I couldn't figure it out, but there's 3 different genres: biography, true crime, and autobiography.
Yeah. So tell us, what is the book? Just give us a brief summary of what is this particular book about?
Okay, so 3 girls, Amanda Berry, Gina De Jesus, and Michelle Knight, were kidnapped in 2002 and 2004 by Ariel Castro, who was Puerto Rican. I think he was around 42 at the time. Originally, he lived in Puerto Rico. Then, I don't know when, but when he was a child, he moved to Pennsylvania, and then later moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he lived at 2207 Avenue. And he kept the girls there.
Yep.
So while they were kidnapped, they were...
Hold on. You jumped ahead. Okay, so they were kidnapped.
Yeah, okay. They were kidnapped in 2002 and 2004. And they were kept for 10 years.
Wow.
So during the time they were kidnapped, they were violently attacked in lots of different ways. Probably a lot of different things that I can't say.
Yep.
Which led up to Amanda giving birth to her daughter, Jocelyn, in 2006.
Yep. Hold on, we don't want to go too deep into it yet. So in this book, it's written by 2 different people.
Yeah.
And is this sort of like a diary? Is it their experience, or are they recalling it? Like, how is it written in the first person, or are they recalling it?
It's
Or like a bit of a mix.
So you know how there was 3 girls, only 2 of them wrote this book, and then the other one wrote her own one.
Yep.
I think it's in, I don't know my like first person and stuff. It's like I.
So it's written in first person.
First person.
Yeah.
And it sometimes refers to their diary or letters they wrote, but not often.
Oh, okay. So they're sort of recalling the story and inserting bits of their diary. And
yeah, it's like really detailed. I don't even know how they remembered every single thing, but. Yeah.
I guess the detail. Do you think the details came from the fact that they kept these diaries, or do you think it's just so ingrained in them?
I think it's mostly both. I think it's kind of both.
Bit of both. Okay.
Yeah.
And the book at the start of the book.
Yeah.
Do they talk about before they were kidnapped, or does it start with them being kidnapped, or does it start with the guy?
So it has a note to the readers, which isn't important at all.
Yeah.
And then they have a preface basically just before Amanda was kidnapped, and then later in the book they have what before Gina was kidnapped. So
a bit about their lives beforehand, what they did. And
yeah, it's like it talks about like what she was doing the day before.
Yeah, and the guy what was his name again?
Ariel Castro.
Ariel Castro. So tell us. You told us a little bit about him. He moved to America when he was young. Tell us a bit more about him. Other than the fact that he's a bad guy.
I don't really like
did he have any siblings?
I think he had like I can't remember, but I think he did have siblings, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many.
Did he work?
He was a bus driver.
A bus driver. Oh, that hits close to home with my job.
He was a pretty
And
crap bus driver, though.
yeah, and his relationship with these three girls obviously was not. He was very in control.
Yeah. The only reason he kidnapped most of them, all of them were friends with his daughters.
Oh, so he's got children.
Yeah, he has children,
Okay,
but he's divorced.
I see. Did the children live with him?
No, they lived with his mother because he was abusive to his
Wow,
wife,
okay.
ex-wife.
So he has children. So he obviously met these girls through the daughter, or knew of them.
Yeah. Most of the time he offered them a ride home
Oh, okay, I see.
from like school or work.
Yeah. And so this story, this book involves him and these three girls. Is there any other supporting people or any other people in the book, or is it just mostly about them?
It has stuff about her, their parents or their siblings or like the police investigators and stuff.
Yeah.
It has like some of their point of view as well.
Yeah. And so tell us about the girls.
What like what?
I mean, so how old were they?
Oh, I
Give
can't.
us a bit of information. Does it say?
Amanda, it was like right before I think her 17th birthday, the day
Okay.
before she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
I think Gina was 14. She was like she's a year older than me. She was
Yeah.
when she was kidnapped. She was 14 and I'm 13, which is
Wow.
kind of weird.
Scary.
And Michelle was 21.
When she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And how old were they when they got free? Was it 10 years later?
10, so I think Gina was like 20. I mean, what's her name? Bloody Amanda was like 29. I think Gina was like 20. They were all 20 something except for Michelle, who was 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a bit spooky talking about this book being about this horrible thing that happened to these girls, because we're actually in the middle of a raging storm with lightning. And so if you hear a bit of background rustle or background fuzz, that's actually the rain hitting our tin roof, right?
Yeah.
And I just say that because I just saw a flash of lightning. So there'll probably be a rumble coming through soon. So
probably a bit spooky.
there's the rumble there. Don't mind the sound. If you're listening to this, don't mind the background noise. What to you was your favourite moment in the book?
I think it's kind of obvious was when they escaped in 2013.
Yeah, in 2013. And how did that... Now, if you haven't read the book and you're planning on reading the book, maybe you want to skip ahead,
Yeah.
because we'll talk about the end of the book. Now, obviously, the fact that they escaped is not a spoiler, because this is like the Titanic. We know the boat will sink.
Yeah.
They've obviously written this book because they've escaped. So, but if you don't want to know how,
If you
shut your ears for a wee bit. How did they escape?
So he always, when he left, because he had a job for most of the book, he always locked the doors, and he even had special locks so that they couldn't get out. But one day, which I always found weird, he suddenly like forgot to lock the doors. I don't know how or why. But Amanda's daughter was running around the house because he took her out in everything, like to McDonald's or to the park.
The daughter.
Anyways, yeah, the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not her. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Anyways, she was running around the house and she's like, "Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy?" Blah, 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 like a kid would.
Mm.
And then she looked all around the house and said, "He's not here. He's not here." And so Amanda went down the stairs and she checked everywhere, and she was so worried that he was going to be there, like, testing them, because he always did that. But the doors were unlocked and he wasn't there, so they got out. Yeah.
And that's it. And when they got out, what, did they just run home? Or?
Oh, no. So they were trying to get the door open because, I mean, it was still hard to get out of because it was a crappy house. And people were trying to help them and stuff, and she was telling everyone who she was, and no one, like, properly believed her. But then they finally got the door open and the police came in. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, they got home and everything.
So they didn't
Oh,
believe
they went to the
girls.
hospital. They didn't go home.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yep. And obviously this book is a very heavy, emotionally heavy book to read. And, you know, if you're a younger person, you know, sorry, we have to warn you that there is a lot of violence
Yeah, there
a lot
is
of sexual
lot.
violence. Obviously, this guy didn't kidnap them just for someone to talk to. He had obviously reasons.
He keeps saying he was unwell and he said, I know I'm sick and stuff
Yeah.
in his confession note. And he said that he keeps saying to the girls that he had a sexual problem and that he was obsessed with, like, yeah.
Gotcha.
He was weird.
Yeah.
He also
Sounds
said
scary.
He also said multiple times during, I think, like the court trials and everything, that he didn't do anything and that they consented to everything, which is obviously not true. He also keeps saying to them that he didn't take away anything from them, even though they were stuck in this house for 10 years.
Yeah. So he took away their freedom.
Yeah, their lives.
Yeah.
And he said, one of the girls said to him, Amanda, she worked at Burger King, and she said something about him taking away her life, and he said, what, working at Burger King? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you still... Also... I don't know if I should talk about this. But during the time she was kidnapped, her mother died. Which
Oh,
is not...
sad.
That bit made me really sad. I did cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Moving
sort of... what was I going to ask? What... Was it did you enjoy reading the book? Like, was it hard to read? Not from an emotional point of view, but the text itself was an easy read,
It was really easy. It was really easy. I did originally say that it was kind of hard because they switch between different point of views from the different people.
Oh, wow.
But it was like, I don't know why I put that. It wasn't that difficult.
Yeah.
It was a little bit confusing sometimes because I had to go back and check. But
who it was.
Yeah.
Did you find one of them had a better style of writing than the other?
No, most of it was written in the same, like, way, I guess.
Okay.
The same amount of detail, the same sort of things.
What other elements of the book did you like?
I liked that they
Have a
didn't...
Have a look at the book while you talk.
They didn't just focus on one person. They kind of talked about different people. They talked about him more than I thought they would. Yeah, they didn't... Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that they kind of talked about each person in detail. And there wasn't like a main character sort of thing.
No, obviously there's a few different people.
And there's pictures in the book as well, which helps you.
I'm just looking at those.
It's kind of helps you like visualize. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that you would want to.
But it helps you put a clear picture in your head.
Yeah.
To read with. Okay. And it looks like a fairly long book.
Yeah, and
430 odd pages.
It was good, even though it's really sad. I'm reading it again.
So you've read it twice, or
I'm like
in the middle of.
Reading it a second time now.
Yeah, and this sort of book is obviously it's fairly heavy reading emotionally. Is there any type of person you would recommend it to, or maybe who shouldn't read it? People who should read it.
I would recommend it to anyone who's heard of it and was interested in it, or if you just like true crime or things like that. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who's super emotional. Like, I'm emotional, but I only cried like once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anyone can read it, but I would just be careful.
So maybe no one too young, like your younger sisters.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe people your age and up.
It's like, I'm 13 and some of it was hard to understand. So maybe...
Sure.
Yeah.
What did this book make you think about the world around you?
I think now, after I know how weird this is going to sound, after I read the book and I finished it, I started kind of appreciating things more. Like, even if I'm just walking around, I'm glad that I'm not stuck somewhere where I don't want to be or in a bad situation.
Yeah. Anything else?
No. Yeah.
Let's not give away what happened to him.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm not
leave
gonna...
that for the readers, or leave something for the listeners to either read the book or look up what happened for them. So wow, it's a really good review. Anything else you want to note or add or?
I
Some
know
words?
there was one question on my assessment that
Oh, yeah.
asked me about a memorable quote, so I put that down.
Oh, you wrote some notes. Very good.
So my quote was, when he is doing horrible things to my body, I look at my mum's face. I imagine her laughing. I imagine her smoking her cigarettes and gabbing on the phone, or cooking in the kitchen. I look into her eyes and I lose myself in her, and my mum and I get through it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really
Yeah.
nice. How was it going from? You have traditionally read fiction books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Obviously.
Is this the first? This is like the first real non-fiction
I think so, yeah.
book you've read. I mean, you've read non-fiction books, but they've been like reference books, like books about horses or. I mean, no, maybe not you horses, but you know what I mean.
Like something
Like
an animal or something.
yeah, like this is or research books to learn about a particular subject.
Yeah.
This is sort of the first biography non-fiction biography non-fiction book about an event or a particular horrific subject. Was the text? How did you find it, or did it read more like a story?
So, yeah, it was more like a story. Sometimes I kind of forgot that it was actually like a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it would be a story.
So it read like a fiction, but did you have to remind you?
Yeah, I
yourself
had to
that
remind myself that it was
this really
like a
happened.
real thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Did this make you want to read more books like this, or did it make you want to stay away
No.
from these sorts of stories?
No.
Because you watch a lot of crime TV anyway.
Yeah, I watch a lot of crime stuff because it's interesting.
Yeah.
At least to me and my mum, at least.
And your mum. Yeah, you both like crime stuff. I don't like it.
It's because of her that I like it. It's actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But
see, because I would struggle. I personally, after hearing because I knew of this book because obviously Mum read it.
Yeah.
And I didn't read it because I find these sorts of stories too upsetting.
Yeah, it is. As we said, it's
And I would
really
probably
upsetting.
cry too much.
Yeah, even Grandma read it and she says she kept crying.
Yeah.
I think if I read it one more time, I'd probably cry more.
Yeah. Okay. Did this did it have any other sort of obviously it's very hard and very sad, but while they were kidnapped, was there any happy points obviously they weren't happy the whole time, but was there any points where you're like, oh, at least this came out of it?
Yeah, I think one thing that was, I guess, happier. This is during the. I can't speak right now. After they were kidnapped, this is just one thing. They were closer to their families and more.
Yeah.
I don't know. But while they were kidnapped, there was things that made them happy, like they get to see their family on the news. Sometimes he played voice messages that they had sent to them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess there was some happy moments, but also they're kidnapped. So, I mean, they weren't always happy.
They weren't always happy, but
There were some times when they were happy, yeah.
yeah. Now I don't know if this talks about this in the book, but one of the pictures I like is at the very back, obviously once they're free, and they're meeting Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And the current president.
Yeah, they meet
Joe
Joe
Biden.
Biden and Barack Obama as well.
At the White House.
Yeah.
Does it talk about that in the book, or is it
Yeah.
just... Oh, wow.
It talks about how they, were looking through the White House and everything, and how... I think they had, lunch with Joe Biden or something.
Cool. And now, that was obviously before he was the president, but he was the vice president.
Yeah, he was a vice president.
At the time.
That's why I
to
was so
Barack
confused.
Obama.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Talking about Joe Biden.
Yeah, and obviously this was written well before when... Oh, we've got a flash of lightning. Our lights are flickering here, folks.
I love that.
This was written in 2015. It was
Yeah.
published in 2015.
And also both me and Mum want to get the other book that Michelle wrote.
Oh, I see. So Michelle, who's the third person who's
Yeah,
kidnapped.
she wrote her own one.
she wrote her own. Now, I've noticed it's got Amanda Berry, Gina Gillies, and it's with Mary Jordan
Gina
and
who?
Kevin... Gina De Jesus. Sorry, what did I say?
I don't know, Gina DeGilly or something.
Oh, I'm reading too fast. Amanda Berry, Gina De Jesus, with Mary Jordan and Kevin Sullivan.
I don't know who that is.
I'm guessing they're the ghostwriters and they added to the book.
Probably.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But the girls wrote, obviously,
Most of it, probably.
just about all of it. They might have, maybe they edited it, or maybe
Yeah.
they just added to it.
The one thing that I haven't read, because I just forgot to,
Yeah.
was at the end there's a, what are they called? Blah, 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 blah.
Epilogue?
Epilogue. I didn't read that. I don't know why. I
Oh,
probably
you
should.
probably should, because that's sort of...
I think it just talks about, I read some of it. It just talks about, they just thanking people.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm even looking now. I want to thank my mother and my father. Acknowledgements. Is that what you're talking about?
Acknowledgements, yeah. I didn't
Oh,
read
I
that.
see. Yeah, those are just things. There's no... Oh, I see. There's no epilogue. It's just acknowledgements. Okay.
Which I don't know is I don't think it's super important.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to read that, you could.
Do we want to give away the ending? No, I guess we shouldn't.
No.
No. We'll let people look it up.
Can,
Definitely Google it.
One thing, can I talk about how many, what are they called? Sentences he got? No, not sentences, like, how many counts he got.
Oh, well, you talk about it. It's your review.
He got, one thing when I was looking up to write about it, I knew he had 937 counts of, like,
Criminal counts.
criminal counts of, like, kidnapping and assault and all that.
Kidnapping,
But
rape,
one-
abuse, yeah.
2 of them, which I'd never heard about in the book, was he was charged for murder and attempted murder, which... Oh, I think that was... He tried to kill his ex-wife, I think. But I never... I didn't think he murdered someone. I never heard about that.
It wasn't in the book.
Oh! No, he did murder someone.
Who?
Michelle, one time, she kept getting pregnant because of him, and he
Yeah.
kept killing the baby.
Oh, okay,
What's
so
his name?
that'll be what it's for.
Yeah, I didn't realise until now.
Wow. And what was his sentence?
Sentence?
Yeah, what was he sentenced to? He was obviously found guilty.
Oh, he pled guilty to 937 counts, which included, like, rape, assault, murder, kidnapping, and lots of other stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Oh, also, he kept trying to lose his job. Like, he wouldn't just quit. He kept trying to lose his job.
Oh, he tried to, like, get fired.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't just quit. I never understood
Oh,
that.
probably because... Well, I don't know about America. I don't know how it works in America. But in this country, right? If you quit your job and you want to go on, like, the dole or the benefit,
Yeah.
you can't just quit and go on the benefit. You
There's
got
to
to...
be-
There has to be a reason. So, but if you lose your job, like if you're made redundant or you're fired, you can... I think you can then apply for it.
Oh, okay.
So it might be the same over there. Maybe he wanted to go on what they're over there, better for social
Maybe.
welfare is, and maybe he had
Yeah.
to lose his job to do that.
But, like, there was this time he was driving these kids to the special program. I can't remember exactly what it's for. And there was this kid that he left in the bus.
Oh.
And then he went to, like, Wendy's and everything. And then by the time he got back to the school to pick up the other kid, to drop him off when he realised...
Yeah.
No, he knew... By the time he got to Wendy's, he already knew the kid was there. And then when he got back to the school, everyone told him, well, it's too late now. You just take him home.
Oh, so the kid...
And, yeah...
But he didn't lose his job?
No!
Wow.
There was multiple times he was almost arrested. Like, during
That's
the 10
crazy.
years.
Okay. So... That's a really good review. Any other notes you want to add? Anything else?
Oh! Yeah, I added some extra notes down here. One more thing that I wanted to add is when Amanda had her daughter,
Yeah.
and I know I keep talking about her, but it's most of the book was in her point of view. Yeah, when she had her daughter, he made them use fake names. I think there was like Gina was like Juju or something. I can't remember the rest of them, but
But what was the purpose of the fake names?
so
Just not to
that
get caught.
so that when she's in public, she wouldn't say that she's with them or something. But she found
Gotcha.
out her real name on the news. Oh, Amanda's real name on the news.
Oh, okay.
I think her daughter is now. She's only like 2 years older than me. She's 15. She'll be 15 by now. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's poor girls. All right. Well, overall, what would you rate the book?
Out of.
Give it stars, up to 5 stars. 5 stars is the greatest book ever written. 1 star is, and 0 stars is you can't even get past the first chapter.
Really? Well, there's not really chapters. There's like part
Well,
1, part
whatever.
2, part
The first
3.
few pages.
I'd say. I would. It's. I mean, it probably from right now is probably the best book I've read. So yeah, I'll give it a 5.
Wow, that's a big review.
Out of
5 stars.
out of all the books I've read so far, I think it was probably my favorite from right now. It'll probably change, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As you read more books, they might change, but that's a big review. I might have to read it based on your review, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you, Sophie, for joining us on the show. And
Not excited to be on Spotify.
I hope you're doing well. And how are you feeling today?
I mean, I had a lot of different emotions today. I was happy, I was sad, I was nervous.
Why were you nervous? Going back to school? For
Going
the
back
first
to
time?
school, yeah.
Yeah. For those who are listening, we've been off work and school for a week and a half due to a death in the family.
Yeah.
That's probably why you had a gamut of emotions.
I was-
We've had a very long week last week.
Yeah. I was a little bit nervous, but I mean, it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
There was like some of my friends asked me where I was. But,
You just told them where to
anyways,
go.
that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Are you going to tell your friends to listen to this?
No.
I'll tell them.
No.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for joining us. And thank you for listening to Sophie's book review. And we
Yeah.
hope you have a lovely rest of the week. There'll be another episode before you jump up soon.
Does this count as an episode? What?
Yeah, well, this is
How
going to go up
many
as an episode.
How many episodes have you
We've done 21, but this will be like 21A.
Okay, 21.
So it won't be like a proper episode. It'll just be available.
But then if you do another review on something, will it be 21B?
If you do another review?
No, if not, if you do another review on
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
maybe.
We'll see.
Anyways.
Let's get out of here because the heater in our room's not working and I'm freezing.
Yeah,
I'll
so
go out the
I'm
lounge.
shaking.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, we've been
So,
going on for ages now.
At the end of every episode, you haven't listened to the end of an episode,
No.
we give a piece of advice.
Oh, I don't.
And so this week, the piece of advice is before you jump, read Hope by Amanda Berry and
Yep.
Gina De Jesus. It's a great read. It's 5 out of 5 for Sophie. And in fact, there's a quote on the back, compulsively readable, startlingly illuminating, and geniusly inspired by the Washington Post. That's a major
It's
publication.
always the Washington. I don't know.
Well, that's
It's
a
always
big
the Washington
publication.
Post.
It's given a great review. So,
Yeah.
get in there and read it. And once again, Hope by Amanda Berry and Gina De Jesus. What?
No, finish it. Keep going.
What? You covered your mouth like,
Keep going.
oh
Keep
my
going.
God,
Keep going.
shocking.
Keep going. Keep going.
I'm going to finish it now.
Yeah, finish.
Okay. So before you jump this week, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Sophie.
Bye-bye.